you know, if everyone can make mute, that would be probably easier. Whoever talks, just unmute himself or herself. Um, it's 3 minutes past. Let's start. Actually, thanks for Karishma. Why am I having a background?
Which is my water? Water is, I think this.
Sonal, you want to mute yourself? Shahid, as a host, you can mute yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me there. So Sonal is making noise. Okay. So the Karishma actually called me and asked that, hey, there are a lot of events happen in Bay Area. So maybe a monthly this meeting would help us just to know how we can accommodate, make it better, the process wise, and if there's any feedback. I don't have much idea. I have a few points I'll probably share with you later. Now start. Maybe Karishma, you can start first.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I wanted to welcome everyone and thank you for organizing events for Phirse. I know it's a thankless free service we do, but we do it for the greater good, for our entertainment, for the entertainment of Phirse, and to give good memories to people who have gone through hard times and bad divorces or not so good divorces. But overall, when I see there like 116, 120, I've lost count, Shahid, how many organizers we have in total. But then I see only 5, 10 organizers active. So I just reached out to Shahid and see if we can get the core organizing team ready to organize good events for Phirse in Bay Area and everywhere else, and see how we can encourage others to plan events as well. Thank you. Shahid, you take it over.
Yeah. Anyone else has any? Thanks, Karishma. Actually, I know I keep saying that organizers are the bread and butter of this event, your meetup. Without them, there is no fish actually. So can I get some feedback from? I think Simi, you do a lot of events. Any feedback from your side that we should kind of consider? Simi, Anurag, Amit.
Hi, Shahid. Yeah, go ahead, Anurag.
I'm sorry, I interjected. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna thank you all for attending this event, and thank you to Karishma and Shahid. The calendar has been so busy that I have not been hosting very many events because so many good events are already there, and we are rather just enjoying the beautiful events. I look forward to actually collaborating with you, Karishma. I know you mentioned a Mother's Day and a Father's Day event, so let's do that, So thank you again, guys. I'll let Anurag take over now.
I was just going to say that organizing events is fun. Just one thing that we all, I think, struggle through is how do we make members more accountable for their RSVP statuses? A lot of times people just RSVP, 50% of the people don't show up. Lately, I have seen for one of my events, as soon as I started putting a question, are you going to honor your RSVP? And then everybody says yes. And then the last event, it was fairly well attended. So I think 95% people showed up. So, but I think we still have this issue where members do not kind of respect organizers' time that well.
So yeah, I think this was the point raised in the past also. How we can help? Like, is that something? Take action to them. People changes, reminding them often. Is there anything, or if there's somebody keeps repeating, probably reach out to them personally.
The challenge is, what I see is if I start, how do we track all this? Because that will take additional time to track who's attending, who's not attending. Unless Meetup has something called.
Meetup has something. Meetup has something. You can right click and no show. So you can mark it as no show. I'm not sure if you are aware. Like if you're a host, after the event, it give you option to right click the person and say the no show. That could be a good
Yeah.
start.
And how do you retrieve that data? Like, how do
Okay,
you look at it?
I don't think we can have a consolidated data, but we can go back to the events, the big events, and see that how many had no shows. That we can find out. So all event hosts, if there's somebody didn't show up and didn't inform you, just put them at no. I do that actually. I do that, and I personally talk to them that why it's not kind of responding. And I know it's frustrating because like 2 days back here we have a event of 30 people. Somebody, I don't know why I didn't put this option to admit. And we have added to the WhatsApp group. Still, they will not respond. We're asking them, okay, we need this much money. The restaurant wants. Still no response. And then I had to remove them. I said that I removed them and I removed them from the RSVP. So if you're not responding in this one, you don't have time. Really, we don't have time to chase everybody. There are 40 people joining, right? So no show, having a WhatsApp group, removing them from the RSVP, it could work, I think. No? And any suggestions?
Yeah. So the events that involve maybe a potluck or a money donation or money contribution, there are WhatsApp groups for those, and I think it's easier to manage because now you know who's coming, who's not. And people are generally more responsive to the WhatsApp messages. But the events that only run on Meetup, I don't create WhatsApp for everything.
Okay, it's not required.
I don't have time for that. So, but on Meetup, I think people can be a little bit more respectful. I don't know. It's see, more administrative work we do, we take upon ourselves. It's like more time sucked into this, and who has that? So I don't know. Maybe a consistent leadership message or something that goes out frequently. That hey guys, step up your game.
Yeah. That I can do. So from your side, you can mark them no show. And then from our side, we can keep posting in the home group or in the community that, hey, if you don't do RSVP, then, I don't know, maybe we can have some kind of rules to, not to attend the same event again. Means that would probably next stage. But if I think consistently inform them on the home or the community, I think that will work. Let's start with them and see how that goes. And if anybody has any particular, person or someone keep repeating, then reach out to me. I can talk to them.
If there's a way to, I'll try to see if Meetup has a way, but I couldn't figure it out. If there's a way to look at the past data and see who has attended certain meetups.
You can, means after the event is over, then you can select the person's name and right click and no show. That you can do.
Yeah, you can do that later. And also one other thing we can do is once, like if you see that person is not showing up maybe like once or twice, then if they are in the wait list for the next event, we usually put them on the hold and give the priority to the other people. That is another way to tell them that hey, if you are not going to show up, just be careful about your RSVP.
Okay. I think that let's start working on that, and we can. And again, event organizer group is a very strong place. Just keep posting that. That will help. I'll keep posting on the community that to maintain the RSVP. And I think the most helps is going when talking to the person. If there are not too many people actually does it, so just talking to the right people probably help, and that's what I've seen. Here. I have an idea. Before we move on, Anurag, does it kind of work out? Like, do you think it might help?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks,
So
Karishma.
it took me some time to discover where the no show is, and if the other organizers don't know, I can quickly share the screen and show.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Let me share my screen. Host disable participant screen.
Okay. How do you? There is an option. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Multiple advanced sharing options. All participants. Okay. Okay. Now it should be fine. Check.
So I went to my past events. I had a weekend khana in Ghana 37 people signed up, but some did not, right? So you go to the people who have signed up, like, these people.
Jay, just put Jay, no show. That'll be it.
Okay, so I hope he doesn't kill me for that. So you just go in your phone or in this computer laptop, you just put on the right click, the 3 dots, and you flag a no show.
Yeah.
And then you see his name will come in no show.
Yeah.
Somewhere it will be written no show Jay. So
Yeah, we should go to check it later. Yeah, I know that's. Thanks. That helps. Yeah, there's a consistent effort. I think the messaging also helps. People sometimes forget and they become busy, but sending. I have one idea. Means like the events of large scale, like 30 people or 50 people, it's a lot of effort, right? Means especially if you've got a restaurant or booking, or there are a lot of involvement from the host side. I was suggesting, like from my experience, like, can you make that free event? I know it's not a big thing. Like, say, if you're 30 or more people, for one host, the event is free for her or him. Or if it is 50 people, then 2 hosts, it is free for them. I know it's not big. Probably most people don't care about it. But do you think it's worth considering? Because any thoughts? Anybody comment?
Yeah, I think it will give the motivation to people to host bigger events, and also that would also attract more people too. So I would say, yeah, why not? It's a good idea.
Because
but that would be not for the same event, right? It would be for the next event.
No, it can be the same event. Why not? Like,
just do the same. Just do the same.
Like say you do a Diwali event. Just I'm giving the biggest example. It's more than 50 people, probably 2 hosts, and if it crosses 100, maybe 3 members. Because if it crosses, you really need a lot of hosts. So I still didn't think about it. Means it's maybe 31, 52, and 100, probably 3 hosts. That's the minimum we can do here, right? I hope the members will not get mad on that, right?
No, I think it's a good idea to encourage more participation at the host level.
Yeah, end of the day, you have a lot of effort. Bipin.
Yeah, hi, Saeed, how are you? Yeah,
Good,
hi,
man.
I have the same question around that. Some events that we collect money, and we just want to remember we were thinking of making a ticketing system where you buy the ticket, and if you don't want to come up, sell the ticket to somebody. We don't have that thing. So what now happens, like some of the bigger events that I've seen, a lot of people drop. Correct? They drop, keep on dropping, and they ask, like, whether can you return back the money or find a replacement and all. So that sometimes gets annoying. So can we make a policy very clear that it's a ticketing system? When you buy it, you buy the ticket kind of thing. If you want to get some other replacement, go and find out, go and find that person and do the transaction, and that's it.
Yeah, I wanted to raise this topic. Bipin is here. He's the right person probably. But I thought that I'll wait a bit later. But let's discuss this one. So we have few costs in Meetup running. It's not free. So first 1 year, I ran from my pocket, to be honest. The second time, I think we started, collecting money. And the way we used to do, say, my credit card is on the Meetup. So they get charged right away. And then I used to ask, hey, can you contribute to this? And it's voluntary, no force. Nobody has to pay for it unless you don't want to. And people contributed. But every time there's a payment, every few months, you have to ask for it. That's not the best way. I don't want to hassle people, every few months asking for money. Meetup has total $400 cost yearly. So we have got 6 groups. So 3 groups, it allows each one 100. So 200 a year, and all the receipts are there with Bipin. Bipin. The Zoom is this one we're using, $150 a year. And the website, I think Prab has given free service. Thanks for that. But it will probably, I would say, we should keep $100 for maintaining this one. And it is very much useful right now. So you're talking about around 4, 5, 6, 7, 800, around $800. So only way we can generate money is probably events, bigger events. And the way we did before is, say event is like Diwali, I give always examples, so 100 people. And there are a lot of expenses involved there. One is your food. Can somebody just keep adding? Okay. One is food. One is DJ maybe. Then your that service charge, which is in America, not in Australia. So you add them. Say it becomes $30 to $33, for example, or $35, and then we add $2 on top of that for unforeseen cost. Yeah, Priya, just let me finish this, then I'll come back to you. So unforeseen cost is like, say, some birthday gift. We did not consider that, or something else we did not, that we covered that one. And end of the event, and whatever extra stays, that stays in the Phirse, your fund. And this is all tracked. I myself don't get involved at all into that. It goes to Bipin, and he manages this one meticulously for last, I don't know, 3 years. So he has all the transactions. So we use that fund to pay those things. So we don't have to hassle people every time. Priya, what's your thought? You wanted to say something? Priya?
Yeah, well, sorry, I was on mute. This was about the previous discussion. Anurag, actually, I went and looked at the members' information in Meetup Organizer, because I do sometimes flag people as no-show. And so I noticed that in one of the past events, I'd flagged somebody as no-show. And then when I pulled up their information, it does show me how many yeses, how many nos, and how many no-shows.
Nice. That's really nice.
So the way you would reach that information is you would go to Meetup Organizer.
Can you
below.
Can you share the screen or something, or you're from the phone?
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
So if you go to Meetup Organizer, right below the group name, it will show you the member count in the group. So you have to click on the member count in the group, and then click on someone who has been marked as no-show. And when you go to their profile in Meetup Organizer, you'll see the count.
There you go. That's great advice.
Okay. Thank you, Priya.
Thanks for that. Thanks. Karishma, you raised your hand.
So regarding your last 2 points, right? If we host a dinner or this karaoke in Kathmandu, or I do it in Garam Mirchi, the people are paying individually. So there's no way host can be free and others have to pay, because they're buying whatever they're buying individually and paying.
A la carte you're talking about. I don't know. A la carte.
Yeah, let me finish my point. Thank you. Sorry. So a la carte, if we go to a restaurant and, then the participants always start complaining, oh, I didn't drink alcohol, I didn't eat non-veg. So they don't want to pay equally. So that's where we say, okay, you pay for what you want to eat and you pay it separately and you're done. So it's hard for us to say, okay, we are host and we will be included, that point. And second point, to raise money for the meetup cost, which we have around $800 a year, I would suggest, let's host big events like Diwali, we save $150, $200. Holi, we save $150, $200. And then once a year, when we do Christmas party, we save another $100. And then once a year, we also do a volunteering thing where we are just, like you do it every year, we are just donating to Phirse meetup for the meetup cost. So that should cover it. But these small events, where even I have 40, 50 people coming, it's very hard for me to even make myself be or the host pay, because everybody is paying individually.
Okay. I'll first take first question, first one. A la carte for 20 plus people, it's kind of hard. A restaurant don't want to do that, right? That's very difficult. I don't know what events I have done in Bay Area and here. Normally, it's a kind of fixed price. You have this one, you order something and you split it. And the way we split it is, and I did in the past, is alcohol, of course. Those people having alcohol, they should pay. Those are not having alcohol, they must not pay. We never charge for alcohol for people who are not having alcohol. We never did it. Even for Diwali events and stuff, people paying for what? Especially alcohol. Veg, non-veg, sometimes it gets a bit, sometimes it's easier, cost is not that much. we just split them equally. If you have got 10, 15 people, everybody a la carte, probably that's not an option. But if it is a bigger event like 30 plus, probably you will go for a fixed amount, or you can have the total bill and you can split it. That's just my suggestion. You don't have to do it, but I think if that kind of situation, you can, like if the cost is like maybe $3,000, and there are 30 people, you can divide by 29 people, right? And then we'll give the other people, we can explore it. Again, don't take it seriously. Like I'm just giving that idea, floating that idea that what we can do.
May I, is it my turn? I raised the hand. I don't know if somebody else was raised before me or not.
Oh, you did, Anurag, go ahead.
So one thing is, for the events where people just go and order their food, they sit there, they eat, they pay, and then move off or go home. As an organizer, there's no overhead. I don't mind doing those events, right? So and even for those events, or to encourage people to do those events in a way their host will be free, I personally would not feel very good about it. So I don't want to float that suggestion over there, but I think the whole Holi, Diwali, Mother's Day, Father's Day, where there is a whole lot of planning is needed, definitely makes sense to get additional people, and their cost will be free, whatever that is.
Okay.
And to the point about restaurant bills, I am noticing that more and more restaurants in Bay Area, at least, they are letting people order from the table. You just come in, you scan the QR code and you order, and food comes to you and it goes to your credit card. That's the perfect place to have the meetups or at these events, because there is no accounting to be settled. Now, there is something we can do about the additional, the overhead expenses we talked about, the website and meetup and all that, and also try to fix the RSVP issue. The events where we have WhatsApp and all that, where the planning is needed, we just say that, okay, if you decline attendance, there's a date, like I give them a 5 days notice. So if the event is on 30th of May, by 25th May, you have to exit if you don't plan to attend. After that, if you exit, you'll have to pay $5. And believe me, this will collect some money. We'll have to see how much, but it will fix two problems. It will at least fix the attendance issue or the last minute drop-off issue. And then we will collect some funds and see how much and all that. I've seen it working, and it works. I mean, it's an overhead for the organizer to kind of keep a count on, but I think once you put a monetary repercussion to lack of attendance, I think people will change a bit.
Okay, thanks. First, let me just answer that, and then I can go to the next person. So regarding refund, I think so far I've done Diwali events in Bay Area. Like we say after this week or this date, it is non-refundable. The reason is non-refundable. We pay to the restaurant. Like if you do Bombay Garden, you are booking that place, you are paying in advance. So if the person maybe, I don't know, maybe say 100 people signed up, 50 of them backs out, then how are you going to get that money back? The money is gone, right? So after that, after we made the deposit, the money is non-refundable. And if you have a replacement, you get it and give the name, all good. Because for organizers, chasing people who's the, can come and replace up, that's a nightmare. We have done many and that's not practical. So the practice I did, and it was quite, easier for the organizers that this is the date when we'll submit your advance to the restaurant. Before that, you can pull off. So it happened, and once we tried to do I think disco party after the COVID, and I started collecting money, and then people started pulling off. At certain time, I cannot make the number, whatever the number we need, and we canceled the event and gave all the money back to everybody.
Yeah.
So, but after that deadline, when we submit the money and 500, 1,000, whatever, we cannot refund any money. And that policy works great, and I think it should be fine. people can find out the replacement, and they can give it to the replacement.
Yeah, I'm not specifically talking about refund. What you said about refund makes perfect sense. Yes, once the commitment is done, you are in. There is no way restaurant is going to give us money, but that money is lost for you, right? If you don't attend, you're gone. What I'm saying is putting a financial penalty for people who just drop off at the last minute on big events. On the small events doesn't matter. If I'm doing a hike, people don't show up, that's fine. I don't care. But if I'm doing an event,
Can somebody take a note of this? I don't know, means we'll probably, Sonal, are you in a position?
Not really. I'm outside.
Karishma is with kids. Is it possible to just take some notes? Because we might forget, though it's recorded.
I can try my best. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. Sorry, for Anurag. What kind of scenario is it, Anurag, where it's not the scenario where that Shahid mentioned, where we're pre-booking something?
Yeah.
So what is the scenario? It's not a pre-booking. It's like you're hosting, just a karaoke and dance event or something at some place, right? And then people come in with their food and all that, and suddenly last minute 10 people say in the morning, hey, I can show up. Now, to discourage that behavior, you put a date to that okay, the last day to exit is this, which is maybe 3-4 days in advance. After that, we will come after you and get $5 from you.
Can I say something else to support what Anurag is saying? Where I see the biggest challenge is in events where we have a long wait list. For example, the Kathmandu events get filled super fast, and there is a 30 people wait list, right? Now, people who have signed up and don't show up, they are really blocking the opportunity for others to be able to attend that. That is a bigger challenge, in my opinion, than the money.
Okay. I get it. That's different scenario.
But I guess Anurag is talking about something else. Anurag is saying when it's a paid event. Is that correct, Anurag?
No, for paid event, it's simpler. So I'm not so much talking about the paid event, because for paid event, people pay in advance. And if they don't show up, they lose their money. It's very simple, right? But for the events where there's a consistent issue of people dropping off at the last minute, as an organizer, you're looking forward, you talk to the restaurant, they say 30 people are going to show up, and then only 15 show up. Now the restaurant is looking at you and say, hey, what happened here? Now, to discourage that attendance behavior issue, we say, okay, if you drop off at the last minute, you pay for $5. That's it.
So I have a suggestion, and after that, I think we should hear from Karishma, because Karishma raised her hand after me. So I feel that if we need to collect money for meetup costs, we can use Meetup has a donate option. We can turn on donate, and we can use that. The second thing is that as the first step, I suggest we start leveraging the no show. And then what I am planning to do is, if somebody has, say, more than one no show or X number of no shows, then if they RSVP to an event, we automatically move them to the wait list. So I would suggest handling it like that first. If that doesn't work, then we can collect the $5. But at least that's how I was planning to leverage the no show. Flag them as no show, and if I see them like for events that Surbi mentioned, the karaoke event, and I look at the people who are marked as going, I count the number of no shows, and if it's even one or two, then we can just move them to the wait list. And that way now people know that they're not going to get first choice in.
I have one question on that. So now people are actually quite aware, like in the no show is going to cost you. So what they do is that they drop off the last moment. So that is actually a bigger problem. I can see a lot of people now. They know no show is going to cost them. And like few hours before or one day before, there's a huge drop off of people. That is actually a main problem now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
And I think that'll happen. That'll happen, and that's
Oh,
still happening.
actually,
So
you can add people to no show even if you can check the RSVP time when they move to not going, and you can add them to no show after the fact.
That's
So you
lot
can
of
still track
admin
them.
work for us.
Yeah, that's gonna be lots. The thing is that we would event work. That's what I discuss event organizers.
Okay, can we do one
Okay,
thing?
let's-
All of this management.
Hey, I think we spoke about it. Let's move on to the next topic. You know, we have this one noted, and then we can discuss and get a decision on that. Karishma,
Yeah,
you've been
quickly going back to that topic of meetup cost, like some other meetups, what they do is they charge their members, and we see that we are 1,000 members. If we pay $1 a year, $1 a year cost.
okay. I don't want to do that. I don't want to force anybody to pay unless they want to pay.
$1 a year.
Yeah, I know $1 is a pay, and yeah. So people only should pay if they volunteer to pay. And I think the donation option. There was somebody in the group. He said, "Oh, I'll pay for that full amount." I don't want to pay somebody, full amount of $800 and get the ownership of it. Everybody should contribute a small amount. And that should be volunteer, and that we should not know. Means we should not say, okay, these are the people who paid, and these are the people who didn't pay. So there is a kind of discrimination. Okay, he's paying, he's not paying. So I think the events I am more, in favor of, because they are actively participating, and the $1, $2 we're doing, and it's not causing an extra resource. Again, if you donation, there is I think tax implication there. Means I explored those options. You have to have a bank account, and you have to submit tax, and it becomes messy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just want to add on this thing. The thing is that I want to ask Priya. Priya, I know you are an organizer. I'm also an organizer. So you, when you do, anybody does an anonymous donation, where does the money go? To the personal account, or you need to have a trust? Because if we don't have a trust, that's a problem. And that
I haven't turned it on yet, Bipin, but I was thinking of turning it on a little after some time, because I don't want to provide some value also. But I haven't really explored it, and I don't know what options, what visibility we'll have, but I was thinking of limiting to maximum of $5 donation. And then once I hit my meetup cost of like 240 or whatever that is, then I was planning to turn off the donate button.
Yeah, it's similar. Means I understand it's similar.
So
but
it's just covering the meetup cost, and then cover it until turn it on and ask people, don't, like friends may want to donate more, but tell them, hey, don't donate more than like maybe maximum $5 per person. $1 to $2 would be ideal. And then there's a bar showing how much money has been donated. And once I hit that bar, I was going to just turn it off.
We do the same thing actually, but only thing is not through Meetup. It's because as soon as you engage Meetup and the process, the legal tax implication comes in. We try to do I think event something like ticketing system, and then I think Bipin and we have explored. But again, let's keep it aside. I think next topic, is there anybody else with somebody else? Anurag, you still raising hand? You have anything else, or?
no, thank you. I'll take it out.
Anyone else? It's almost 40 minutes.
I do actually. I feel that the main organizers, Shahid, you, Jay, whoever is the main organizers, I feel that we should do. I feel that we should do at least once a quarter or once every 6 months a huge event of
meet and greet,
like a member meet and greet. Like I see Karishma and others organizing a lot of small events, but I feel like the main organizers also need to step up and host at least 4 large events a year in addition to Christmas and Thanksgiving, and not just put because I feel like all the members are taking on the burden of organizing, and I feel like that's not completely fair. And we also don't have a lot of experience in organizing huge events. So people who have done that in the past, like I think for Q2, I feel like we can have I mean, I'm glad that Karishma is organizing a picnic, but I feel like we should do a member greet and meet and greet because we're not engaging the members enough.
Yeah, Priya, I agree.
Yeah, 1 second, Shahid, to piggyback on Priya's point, 100, as I keep mentioning, more than 100 organizers, 10, 12 are active. Either they just give away the organizer badge. I mean, it's not costing them money or costing us, but it's just the fact that they've just taken it and not doing much about it. And genuinely, when they have time, they can take it back from you, the organizer badge. But right now, if they're not organizing, they shouldn't be event organizers. I just see 10, 12 of us who are active, Anurag, me, Priya, Surbhi and others, Prashant. But other than that, people are just having fun and it's nothing wrong, but then don't call yourself an organizer.
Okay, let me just answer first Priya's question, the first one. I'm not sure if you realize that I'm actually in this, not in Bay Area. I'm in the, island of Tahiti.
Sorry, is that a real scene?
Yeah. No, I'm in Melbourne. So I do actually monthly meet and greet here every month. So that's what I used to do when I was in Bay Area, and still I do here. So we have every month, there's a meet and greet for new members. But I cannot do in the Bay Area now because I'm not there, right? But what we did, we asked for volunteers who want to do meet and greet. And of course, Jaya and others will be involved, but that's something, we need volunteers, and meet and greet becomes really big. Like it becomes as good as your Diwali, 90, 100 people is easily. So I think that is a must. We should do, at least 4 in a year. I'll talk to, again, it doesn't have to be Jay. We all are volunteering, people get busy, move on. So anybody wants to, take the responsibility and be part of the, I don't know, I would not say management, but, group, please contact me and we can make it happen. But that is really important to do.
I would suggest the other way around. I would suggest that the organizers, the main organizers, reach out and find somebody who can take this on. Like you don't, I mean, of course we can help, but I want to see some initiative from the main organizers. I think monthly is too much. I know that Jay tries to do the celebration, monthly birthday celebration. We don't get much attendance for that. So it has to be like a Diwali, Thanksgiving, huge scale event. But I think it will have, it would be nice to see if the main organizers reach out and say, hey, let's do this, who can help? And a bunch of us can help.
Are you in the event organizers WhatsApp group? Are you there?
No.
Okay, that's probably you are not aware. We reach out there all the time. We had a Excel sheet, who's the next one, next month, and next month. And we have whole heaps of discussion there.
I think
who can help is next
to your question, I think Shahid and Jay are Shahid is the main organizer and Jay is the designated co-organizer. I don't know who else has been doing this for a long time, but somebody who has a lot of experience with large events.
Okay. Let's put it in the note and we can discuss and see.
I want to answer Priya. So the way Priya, the way Phirse is very decentralized. It's not centralized. So what we do is that, we see what is selling in the market, correct? So we used to do meet and greet. We used to do, every week we used to have this karaoke and all. So after some time, it's get monotonous. It results out. So we need to find a new thing. So now we have Kathmandu thing going on that Anurag is doing. So it's like the people want something new. I mean, if you see meet and greet is getting, I would just say it's getting less attendance. And some things that doesn't get attendance, we don't want to put that thing because then it loses the interest. So the thing is that we just want to know what's the next that attracts people. So that as an event organizer, me also, for example, I also have pressure on organize some hiking events and all. So if I put the same events hiking in the same place, nobody comes in. Now I have to think about what's the next masala I can add that attracts people, and then people come. So it's a kind of we want people to not look up to Jay or Shahid. Because Shahid is not there. We want people to come up. It's like a bottom up culture here. It's like anybody can become event organizer. If you have the skills, you can put, and we're all going to support. I'm going to support everybody. And once you find that interest and people are actually interested in your events, it goes into its own flow.
Yeah.
So two quick things. Meet and greet and potlucks are super, super popular. We don't do any potlucks. We should try for potlucks. Again, reach out to the members and say, hey, is anyone willing to host a potluck in the WhatsApp group? Not just the organizers, but the general members. The second thing is, sorry, let me finish. Meet and greet. Yes, people will not show up if it's very frequent. And that's why I'm suggesting 2 times a year or 4 times a year. But we really need to market it and provide some value.
No, it's a good idea. I think meet and greet, I think we should do more frequently. And then Sonal and many people started doing, and there was no show up. Nobody kind of joined. So that's when it dropped off, right? So, but I think maybe 4 times.
I think one of the reason we drop off about meet and greet is like the finding the location and committing for number of presence, right? Like sometimes we say, oh yeah, 50 people has signed up for now, and now when we on the day of the meetup there are only 30 shows up. So it's a question for that could be one of the reason. And then we used to do a frequent meetup during the summertime rather than winter time, and that could be outdoor also. So whenever it is outdoor, either we can do potluck, we can go to like 1 day outing and do meetup. We did one past at a 17-mile drive. We did a couple of them at the restaurant. So those were like very successful at the time. But recently we have more other events like karaoke and hiking, as Bipin mentioned, right? It's becoming more popular. So that's where we are focused on rather than meet and greet. But it is a good idea. And we always encourage other organizers to organize those meetups. I mean, it's not necessary whoever is the core, they have to organize. Always, Shahid always have an open policy, like whoever wants to do it, they are free to do it. And if anybody needs support, we always support them.
That's a good point.
We are actually almost, Sunny is on the hands up very long time. I'm sure your hand is paining. Just give me 1 minute. Priya, I think you kind of not into that, we have 100, I think, members on the event organizer group and 300 in the home group. So the way I see that, people should host event if they want to do the event. If they don't want to do the event, we don't want them to host an event. And the event should be comfortable to the host. Like I personally like hiking events. So I do a lot of hiking events, camping events. I like those things. But I'm not like, I don't know, maybe snow sports, I'm not into that. So, but who likes that one, he should host or she should host, and we would help them every way possible, posting in the meetup, the regulations, marketing, everything. But he or she wants to do that, and again, I think Bipin has pointed out, it's not really there is nothing called main organizer. We kind of manage this one, support everybody, give the platform, but ultimately it's by the people, for the people of the, members. So that's kind of different than other meetups. Let's chat. I think if you join the event organizers group, you'll get a lot of chattering there. Some issues happen. We discuss everything in that group, actually, and we get a lot of help. Like Karishma posts something and somebody else helps. So that's probably a good place for. Again, some people don't want to do that. I know members. I'm not into that. I don't have that. I really don't enjoy doing it. I don't want to force them or push them to do anything. They are here they have one way of doing it, like they attend events. Other people do enjoy doing these hosting events. So that's why we work. Sunny, sorry, go ahead. You've been raising hand for quite some time.
Yeah, sure. So my question, in fact, I even posted on the chat, is very specific related to an event fees, and there is an option within an event to collect event fee. And I'm bringing this up because we all know the pain of managing payments from members, right? Last year I did a couple of events specific to Dandiya and Garba, and had a very painful experience handling, tickets, mainly because they were at a big discount. So question, Shahid, is it okay to use an event fee option, which is with...
Yeah, we explored this option on the meetup. And again, tax implication comes in. You need a legitimate business account, and then where the money is going, how much you're earning, and there's a kind of, reportability to that. So I don't know we are ready to do that. Maybe we thought about making it a kind of, org, charity organization, but you can explore it and let us know if any easy way to do that. But when IRS gets involved, it's a scary thing to do. Even the small amount of money you get. I'm not a tax expert, but when we try to do this ticketing system to the meetup, and it saves our life, right? In the Diwali, 115 people, getting the money, tracking who's paying, and then who are returning the money. It's a nightmare. Bipin, Sonal, everybody has gone through that.
Right.
But is there any easy way? Can you explore? I couldn't find anything because it's kind of says that, oh, there's a tax implication. IRS will come after you.
But then the option is within the meetup, right? Within the event, where does, if I, let's say, enable event fee, so who gets, let's say I enable it hypothetically, who's going to get the money? Let's say I put $10 for an event.
Yeah, we have to set up an account. I think it's a business account. That's something, that's what my understanding, I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. So when I explore it, and then all the money goes there, not that it goes to the host. It will not go to you. So Meetup will send the money to that account, and that's not a problem. If the money goes, you can always get from there. That's probably even better. Somebody treasurer or somebody can look up. But I'm just worried about the tax implication. It's a kind of earning. It's a revenue you're generating. Then you go for taxes on that. So, but by all means, just if you can do that or any other way to make this process simple, would love to do that actually.
Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll check the meetup FAQs and other places, see where, if it's a better way to manage payments, especially for paid events, right?
Yeah. Eventbrite is a great option, but I think there is some other app also. Eventbrite charges a bit more, other app charges less. So we can also explore those. It doesn't have to be Meetup.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, Sonal, you're saying something? Before that, Priya has a question. I would like to talk about it actually. That's a very important question. I wanted to discuss this. Priya, accounting.
Sorry, I just wanted to say one thing what Sunny mentioned, right? Like, if I remember correctly, past maybe 2 years back, we discussed about this fees and the implication and all. I think we found out that we need to declare it as a non-profit or something.
Yeah.
Remember, Shahid?
Yeah.
So that's why we talked about that item.
Again, we can explore. Sunny, just if you can come something, bright ideas, we like the topic. I just love that. That would be really helpful to the host. So about this Priya's last question, maintain your transparency. So there's the way the expenses happen right now and the earning. I would explain that and then how we keep that track. I personally don't get involved into any money collection. Personally. I don't do that. Jay don't do that. So any money from the beginning of Phirse, any money we collect that goes to somebody other than us. So in this case, like for the Phirse contributions, it is to go to Bipin. Bipin was very nice, very actually helpful to host this one and manage this one. It's a nightmare. I know that. People are $5, $10, and you keep who's paying, and keep Excel sheet on that, and he has everything. So he is from the beginning, he is managing all the transactions we have for especially our subscriptions and the income of coming for, no, I'm not asking about the question. I wanted to discuss this, not about questioning. I'm asking just to clarify that how you do that and how we would like to do that. So Bipin is like a treasurer, right? He is getting on the money and he has an Excel sheet, but we need to give it show it to the group that how we are earning the money, how much, and how much we're spending. It's kind of balance sheet. So I was looking for someone who's not me, not Bipin, somebody else. I did not get any accountant. Perfect would be an accountant. He knows these, kind of lingos and he can put it in a nice way. But I didn't get any accountant who volunteer. Again, Priya, we do everything volunteer. There is no insist. If there's an accountant in the group, there's a 5 account, I will not request them that, can you please do that? If they volunteer, great. I'll post in the group. If there's a volunteer, they don't, by all means, that's fine. So, but finally we got Sonal to opted that she will help us to make a kind of balance sheet and show it to the group. But if you have any questions, I would suggest talk to Bipin. He can show the Excel sheet is already there. He can, but I would not want to go to nitty-gritty of each and every cent. I think in total we have around $2,000 right now. I don't know, Bipin can correct me if I'm wrong. Around that margin, we have that margin. So we can run another 2 years probably easily. But again, it's not unlimited. So Sonal, I'll work with Sonal that if Sonal can prepare some kind of balance sheet, I don't know, if not monthly, quarterly, we can just send to the team. And every time I pay something, say meetup cost, I paid a few months back, it goes automatic from my credit card. So I submit the invoice to Bipin. Bipin keep it and he reimburses the money. And I posted in the community that this much money was, we paid and we took it from Bipin. So that's how we are doing right now. Yeah. I'm not an accountant, but
Yeah, I can see Said you're posting it. That's very good. So there's two things I want to cover. One is the events that collect money, and there's always some excess cash that remains, right? So that tally has been done by the event organizer. At the end of the event, big event like Diwali and all, I used to, even Diwali and also even before that, we went to Tahoe. I did the accounting. I showed exactly how much was spent and how much was excess, and that excess goes to zero, right? Because when you pay, it's non-refundable. So if you return the cost properly. So not much money, like a few $100 only. Like I was say $2,000 for 3 years. So and we need $500 per year.
Yeah, and I think we did similar for Diwali. Of course, we didn't publish it, but we had all the spreadsheet, like how much expense was there and how much we collected. Yeah, all the details were there for the Diwali also. So if you want to publish, yeah, it's kind of easy to publish.
Yeah. I want to make it readable for members. It's not that all this nitty-gritty make them bored. Just okay, how much we earn and what was the earning source and how much we spend and what are the kind of again, it's a lot of work. If somebody volunteer like Sonal is volunteering, so I will work at it and we'll probably put it. Any accountant, if you know anybody who's volunteering, feel free to reach out. I'll be really glad if somebody can do that.
Yeah, even for the Diwali event and all bigger events, right? If somebody is ready to collect money and take care of all that expense.
You all are organizers, right? You know that nobody in Phirse makes any money. Nobody makes in Phirse money. So all you do is spend a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and that comes from passion. So money, we are manipulating a very small amount of money. Of course, we need to be, accountable to the members. But that's the way we do right now. And moving forward, we'd like to have some kind of quarterly, display of how much was earned, how much was spent, and I don't know how we'll do that. Maybe email or in the WhatsApp community somewhere. Again, money only contributes by the community member, WhatsApp group member, not all meetup member. We have 1,100 members and we have 500 in the WhatsApp community. The money comes from these 500 members, not from the 1,100.
So the money incoming is mainly donations.
No.
Plus events.
No, just events. Right now, just events. It used to be donations, but we stopped that because, again, every time I have to go and reach out and ask people for money and they start sending and then we stop it after 2 days, something like that. But
you said events, meaning if we had a collection of say $1,000 for Diwali, but we only at the end only spent $900, so that $100 goes to the kitty. Okay.
Yeah, the way again I kind of explained that. So Diwali is a good example, and again we'll collect only for big events like Diwali, I don't know, New Year or Christmas, those kind of event. So say Diwali events. I'll give a specific example for this Bombay Garden. The food was $29. I think your service fee was $3, $32. DJ was probably $7 per head. 32 plus 7 is 39. Sorry, 32, 7. Yeah, 39, right. And then what else? There was other cost.
Bartender.
No. bartender, but again, that's for the alcohol. So say for $49, then we charge everybody $41. So $41 is total unforeseen cost. Like sometimes they your host parties, some gifts, so those things. But we don't. Sometimes it doesn't cost everything. So we kind of save that money in the Phirse your fund. That's one. Sometimes the money got short. Even if we calculated this, money was short. Then we covered that from Phirse fund also. So yeah, it's both way. But that's not too many. I think I remember only one occasion there was a short, but other than that, mostly it is extra. Maybe $100, $200 in total out of 100 people, 200 people, or $300, something like that. I think.
One more question I have, but just quickly. We need to explore anonymous donation. That will be good option. Sometimes we are under budget, sometimes we are over budget for events.
Sorry, so you're suggesting that we take anonymous donation?
Anonymous donation is good to have anonymous. So the reason is that we don't want people to sponsor, as we want to be much more democratic, and so that everybody has a contribution. That's the main purpose, right? Otherwise, we have a lot of people who can sponsor everything. The reason is we are doing all this collection is
we can do anonymous donation under maybe $5, something like that. So it's not too much, $5, $10, something like that. Again, the collection of money, the more money comes, the more hassle for you, right? Managing that, why to keep this money.
Exactly. So anonymous can have a bigger donation. That's my whole point. I mean, then we just they just like the group to be there, right? Instead of anything like self-promotion is involved, which we want to avoid. So I think amount we can raise it beyond $5.
Okay, so now just keep it at the point and we can discuss, and of course we'll put in the board and then we can probably go from there. Hey, it's on the hour. I have to go. You guys continue. Actually I'm working right now. So yeah, feel free to continue. And you are on live, by the way, on YouTube.
Yeah, sorry, I also need to drop off now. I am outside, so but I'll send the notes to Shahid and then we will go from there.
Thanks so much. We will catch up every month.
Did you capture the notes from the chat also?
No, I didn't.
Let's do that.
I can.
Maybe somebody can copy paste it or something.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Copy.
1 second.